What tis be up? Welcome back, visionaries, to my channel, ArdelleVision, where I, Ardelle, take you on a journey to capture the vision of my life in hopes to inspire you to do the same. Seriously though, welcome back. Love you all, miss you all. This video is in response to a plethora of questions that I've had on how I got my ADD diagnosis, ADHD inattentive type diagnosis. I'm just going to share with you what I did and how I got my diagnosis. I don't know how different insurances work, and whatever insurance you have, obviously to each his own. I don't know what the ways to go about getting a diagnosis is for you, whatever country you're in, but if in your heart you know you have it, you probably have it. So let's just throw that out there for food for thought. So, you can hold on to that and pursue your own journey within self-diagnosis. What I did is I called around and saw who could take me on as a client, for lack of a better word. I found out who took my insurance. It's a lot of phone calls. It's everything against ADD, like our inner spirit. Getting a diagnosis is everything against our nature. It was really hard for me, but I knew that I had ADD, so I wanted to prove to myself and to the world that I had it. I called around to a bunch of different psych wards. I called around to a bunch of different therapy offices, psychiatrists, anything along those lines, and just called around who accepted my insurance. I made it happen. It was a lot of phone calls. It was probably 15 phone calls in, you guys. I have gum in my mouth. I was very intentional with my purpose of calling them and asked a lot of questions with the person on the phone. I didn't waste their time. So through intentional conversation, I was just gradually led to a doctor that specialized in ADHD and made an appointment with them. By the time I had the appointment, he didn't even know why I was seeing him. He didn't even realize that. They did not relay the message. And so you got to catch the drop balls. The drop balls, for layman's terms. Be in charge of your own diagnosis. I met with him, the doctor who specialized in ADHD. I told him that I think I have ADHD, and I told him that point blank and let him know straightforward what's up. He worked with me from there and listened to everything I had to say, and actually took to heart what I had to say, that I, based on my own findings, think that this is something I have. It answers a lot of my own personal questions with why the way I am the way I am. And he sent me home with, I think, 10 different paperworks that were very targeted for ADHD diagnosis that I should have filled out in office. He let me take the paperwork with me home to fill it out at home for the next appointment. So I didn't get the diagnosis on the first run. I had to go back and see him. And by the time I filled the paperwork out, I was convinced I had ADHD. There was questions on there that I was dumbfounded by. Random things that I was like, how did he know? I felt like the questions that were on those paperworks that he sent me home with were reading into my soul. So by the time I met back up with him for a second appointment, he had me sit down on a computer to do assessments and testing for ADHD. And based on what I was telling him and his own opinions and the questions and the tests that I was taking, he confirmed that he thinks I do have ADHD inattentive type, not hyperactive. I don't click pens. I don't sit there with my knees shaking. I passed the test with flying colors. I passed the test in the sense that I have ADHD. I tried to do them to the best of my ability to not get diagnosed with ADHD. I didn't want to trick myself into being lackluster performance just to get the diagnosis. I went in to try to do the best job that I could to prove that I wasn't, with the intention to be I have it. ADHD, from what I'm aware of, is something you can't just stamp approval you have ADHD. It's not an easy diagnosis in the sense that it's not like you've got cancer or you broke your leg. At the end of it, I still was well, do I have ADHD? And I just looked straight at this doctor and was well, what do you think as the professional? Are you saying I have ADHD? And he replied, yes. And he gave me to go home with ideas of what careers to go towards, what pathways to take, what kind of cultures and communities I should put myself into. We're creative types, we're thinkers, we're dreamers, we're idea makers. I don't know what it's like for you to get a diagnosis, but if you think that you have it and you can't get a diagnosis through your insurance, I would definitely recommend self-care. Why not? What could it hurt? I think that our brains are our most difficult muscle in our body to understand, but it's the one thing that fuels the whole functionality of your body. That is what I did to get my diagnosis, is I was very intentional, and that's the word I'm going to use here. I was very intentional with seeking out my diagnosis within the parameters of what my insurance provided. And I'm going to be honest, I got a beautiful bill at the end of it all. When I thought that my insurance covered so much of it, I got a bill for about $360, and I spread that out for a 6-month period and paid it off every month until it was gone. It costs money to get the diagnosis. If you don't have the money and you think that you have it, I recommend looking just into what ADHD is and how to make life easier for yourself. Thank you so much again, everybody, for watching this video. I love you, visionaries, and let's start working on our lives together. If you like what you see, definitely subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the gray bell down below to be notified the moment I upload another video. Share this video with all your friends if you think that they'll glean something from this video. And I really hope, really hope truly that you have a good week, and I will see you next time. Bye.